Salam, Namaste, and Ola. The first of every year is the end of another, but also the beginning of a new chapter. Salam, my awesome friends, and welcome to Glimpse. Glimpse today is going to be about you, like always, but that never gets boring, does it? Today, we will take a chance to look back at the past, only as a beginning, not something that deserves forgetting, nor something that you yearn to live in all over again. Let's start this year with a kick. A few days ago, as I was looking at my newsfeed, Facebook and all, I noticed a lot of things about New Year. Some people were ecstatic. The year was over. Others were hopeful for a fresh new start. Some were happy. Some were furious. Some were mad that people who don't really celebrate New Year were wishing a happy one to those who do. New Year always somehow brings about different reactions from different people all around the world. And as much as I'd like to say that it's annoying, repetitive, or boring, it's not. Somehow it's quite interesting. People just jumped out and finally voiced out their opinions. Regardless of whether they're right or wrong, they actually said it. And for that reason, I ended up proud of me and those around me that actually did something. You don't have to do something big to make yourself proud. You just have to say what's inside. Fresh starts, a new beginning, doesn't mean that we have to forget about the past. I know that year 2016 had been heavy and cruel to a lot of us. We have witnessed a lot of tragedies that we wish we didn't. A lot of people got hurt, whether from afar or up close, emotionally or socially. We have all been through the ups and downs of 2016. I know I did, and you most certainly did too. But we should keep in mind that the year itself isn't responsible for all our happiness and tears. It's not responsible for what we do. It's not the one that dictates our destiny. It's all on you. You, my friends, are the ones who can destroy your own lives, or make them shine brighter than the stars up high. It's you with the right intentions and the good deeds on your shoulders that gets you where you are or where you need to be. Aside from the pride I felt as I saw many people I know speaking out their hearts, I ended the year with an outstanding feedback on Glimpse and began it by meeting my very first fan outside of the bubble of acquaintances, family, and friends. And it was an amazing way to begin a new chapter. It was beyond what I actually imagined. Despite the sorrow people go through, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. There's always that spark of hope that tomorrow is coming, holding the unknown, the mystery with it. 5 years ago, in high school, a girl wrote a horribly written poem, promising her classmates of a reunion. That was the first ever action that's done to speak to them. She was always the quiet, awkward girl in class, who's just there. The only person who knew this girl was the girl sitting next to her. Then, college came. Suddenly, her college mates and lecturers knew her almost from the get-go. She was no longer just a passerby in her own life. People will actually remember her from now on, even from a small gesture or an annoying one. She started to make an impact, and like an addiction, it never stopped. It just never did. 3 years later, she outdid herself and went on a trip. She came back flying over the moon. She created her own path, drawing her road as she went. It's true, depression almost swallowed her whole, but her will to be overpowered the yearning to be back under the protection of the silence she built in high school. Now, the quiet girl, the girl who wouldn't have dared to look up in class, is the girl standing not in front of 35 pupils, but in front of thousands, doing what her heart tells her, doing her own show. Don't tell me change is impossible. It's rather inevitable. All you need to do is realize how you want to change and go for it.
This is where I learned that change only happens when ordinary people get involved and they get engaged and they come together to demand it. After 8 years as your president, I still believe that.
Some dreams and goals seem selfish, and mine, well, it was too. But if you ever want to help those around you, you need to help yourself first, to be able to give back. I won't remember the days that have passed, and to me that was a waste. Life should be worth living and remembering. Not by other people, but at least by us, individuals. And that was the start of something new for me. It was a fresh new start of a story that is worth reading. I am a writer, and I write my own story. A painter would paint it. A musician would give it a melody. You give it life. Let's rewind a little bit. I told you about a girl, and if it wasn't obvious, that girl was me. New Year is about a blank page, waiting to be smudged and colored and painted. It's about drawing your own self in a new light. I'm gonna take you back to the very first beginning, the beginning of Glimpse. And it was always about firsts. My first, remember, was about going all the way to America, meeting new people, and creating my own destiny, as you say it. But what I didn't tell you is the fact that the very first moment I stepped out of that airplane, the very first moment I walked up to that hotel, I saw a girl. That girl was everything that I was not. She was strong, crazy, and let me say it, cool. Cool is the perfect word that could describe this girl. And on one hand, she made me so frightened. She actually made me want to go back all the way up here. But on another hand, she gave me a push. She actually urged me to be myself. I was in a country that nobody knew me. I was in a place where I can create my own identity. And I took that chance. I took the chance to create the me that I'm comfortable with, the me that doesn't act and say all pretty things just because others live around her most of her life. That experience was a new year for me. But that doesn't mean, and keep that in mind, that doesn't mean that I'm still living in the past. It means that I took that energy, that urge, that trigger, and used it to get to where I am today. The past experience, the hurt, the anger, the happiness, the joy, the excitement, every little thing, every lesson, I took it and I used it as energy, strength, and power to achieve what I want, to achieve what I didn't before, to be a new person that I can be proud of. Not only me, but also my own family. For this year, and like last time, I'm gonna give you a challenge. This challenge, however, is a challenge to be you. I know I'm repetitive, but bear with me. This year is a fresh new chapter. You've already written the first chapters, now it's time you go on. It's time to move forward. Obviously, we did this show at the beginning of 2017. And I would really very much love to know that you guys did the challenge. I would love to see you guys prove to yourself and let me know that I did it, that you actually changed for the better, that you actually did something for yourself. You can write it down, paint it, put it in a poem or a song, wherever you feel comfortable with. Just send it to me, and well, the best time I can give you, best deadline that there is the end of 2017. First and the last, the beginning and the end. Let's make it spark. Thank you guys for watching. See you next glimpse.